How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Lucid, which ended up having a green day inside of the market while it was falling off a cliff. So going into tomorrow is going to be very interesting, knowing that the lockup expiration is at 11:59 p.m. So let's talk about what could possibly go down on Thursday. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder, you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and as well as the short interest information. The reason why the short interest is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Lucid. Let's see how it performed on the day. So it ended up closing at $40.03, being up 2.09%. On the low, it tested $39.44, and then on the high, testing $42.44. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 36.57 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 46.8 for 1 million shares. So even though we did have below average volume in the market, plus on top of that, there was a lot of volatility and selling off at the end, but Lucid was still able to finish the day green. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is at 48.22. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we have strength above the 200-day, the 100-day, but we are below the 50-day and as well as the 21-day EMA. So as far as for tomorrow, again, the lockup expiration is going to be happening at 11:59 p.m. for today. So keeping an eye on what happens for tomorrow will be essential. So if we end up pulling back, this is where I'm going to want to see if we could hold up right here around $38.31. Breaking through this level, we could see how well it could hold up at $37.50. And if that doesn't hold up, then easily we could start touching into the $35 range and possibly $34. Now, as far as for the bullish case scenario and we end up seeing that strength, of course, we want to end up coming back to 42.44, which was the high of the day for today. And remember what I talked about 42.50 being an area of resistance. So if it's able to get past 42.50, this is where we can start testing right here at the 50-day around 43.63, and then that's where I want to see some momentum right here getting up to this $45 level. There could be some selling pressure, but if we have a lot of buying coming in, then this stock could easily start making that move to 50. So you're going to want to keep a very close eye on it. But one thing that is very clear, let's see if that $40 level holds up going into tomorrow because it'll be very crucial. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for Lucid. So as we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So what we could see here for January the 19th, we have Oxenus Partners Wealth Management LLC that purchased 12,146 shares on the filing. And also we have Goldman Sachs Global Managed Beta Fund Institutional Shares that purchased 1,148. And then we have Tuttle Tactical Management LLC with 0. They closed their position. And then we also see Juncture Wealth Strategies LLC that purchased 6,173 shares. And that's what we have for the 19th. We've already covered the others already. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 56.45%. And then for the dark pool short volume, it is just over 7.98 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 0. 0 updated just now, and then for the short Ball-free rate, it's currently not available. Now, when we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 14th, it was at 55.79, and then for the close of the 18th, which was yesterday, being at 56.45. So it has gone up, and what this tells us, Lucid does continue to have short squeeze potential, and it's part of the reasons why we see a lot of volatility in the stock. Let's move on now to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Lucid. So we can see here on the inflow, it's at 317, and then on the outflow, it's at 376. Taking a look at the breakdown even further, on the large, it was 4.80. On the medium, it was 163, and then on the small, it was 149. Taking a look at the outflow side, you can see on the large, it was 1.97. On the medium, it was 191, and then on the small, it was 183, which totals up to be an outflow day. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for January the 19th, which is today, we ended up having that inflow of 2,830.16. Analyzing the numbers even further, for the small scale orders that tend to represent the retail side, we had more selling than we had buying. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more selling than we had buying. But when we take a look at the large, which potentially represent whales, institutions, and funds, we had more buying than we had selling. And that's part of the reasons why we see strength inside of this stock. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it is at 2.24%. So it's a little bit higher than it was yesterday, but it's still in a tight range. So what this means, there's still many who are holding on to their positions. But going into Thursday, I'm going to be very interested to know whether this stock is going to be able to hold up that $40 level. I did see it pull back a little bit in after hours, but we did see this happen yesterday. So I want to make sure that you guys have a strategy if you are going to be inside of this play. So let's go into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Lucid, going into tomorrow is definitely going to be interesting. We know the lockup expiration is at 11:59. So that means on Thursday, we want to see the selling pressure is going to happen. We did see in regards to the order flow, there's a lot of selling that was happening on the retail side, but we see a lot of institutions are continuing to load up on shares. So are they going to be dumping that on Thursday? We're going to have to find out. But one thing that is very clear, and what I talk about in regards to the price levels, you want to see if $40 is going to hold up. And you also want to see if $39 is going to hold up. And I'm talking about during regular trading hours. Do not pay too much attention to what's happening in the after hours and as well as for the pre-market. And we know as far as for the market conditions, it is looking very bearish at the moment. So if Lucid continues to show strength when the market starts to pick itself back up, don't be shocked if you see the stock moving to the upside, wanting to get to that $42.50 level. It did get to around $42.44 before being hit with selling pressure. That's why I'm saying keep an eye at $42.50. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, we also saw from the recent filings, institutions have been loading up on shares. And on top of that, this stock does have short squeeze potential. So this is why I'm saying there's a lot of volatility, and you need to do your homework and do your due diligence. You don't want to just jump inside of this play and forget about it, right? You want to make sure that you're going to be on the winning side of your trades. And for my long-term investors out there, I would continue to be patient. We know as far as for the lockup expiration, the impact will be felt on Thursday as well as Friday, and we possibly could see that going into next week. So the last thing that you want to do is just jump right in. You don't need to have FOMO. Like I said, this is a growth stock, and of course this year for 2022, a lot of growth stocks are going to be going through corrections. And this is why I'm saying Lucid can be impacted by this. So don't let your impatience stop you from making wise investment decisions. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.